Welcome back, everyone. I'm Zell, and that was the wrong intro. Welcome to the Apex, everyone. I'm your host, Zell, and before we get into sharp news, I want to say thank you for all of the thoughts and prayers. As you can see, I'm getting much better. If you watch real close, there's still some things that aren't quite working right, but I'm getting there, and I really appreciate it. I'm feeling a lot better. Still not perfect yet, but getting there. And you guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. Second thing I want to touch on real quick. YouTube is changing the way that they do some things again. And the way that you can help all of the knife channels is go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Because subscriber counts are becoming a much more important part of YouTube. Especially at the smaller channels, but really for all channels. And watch hours are also important, so I know, but watch as much as you can. You know, watch while you're cleaning, watch while you're working in the shop, start a video and run the audio through the Bluetooth of your car. Whatever you can do to help the knife channels out to make the monetization a little better and make these smaller channels where they can get monetized. If you don't want the notifications, a quick Google search will enlighten you as to how to turn the notifications off in your YouTube app for iOS or Android. So if notifications is what's stopping you, for your phone anyhow, shouldn't be a big deal. You can turn those notifications off. And that's it for that kind of stuff. Let's get into blog and print news. And Knife Planet has an article says, I wish I had them. 6 pocket knives everyone wants. Now, they did a poll, and I'm not sure where they did the poll, but they did a poll and come up with 6 knives and brands that everybody wants. So, pretty cool. You want to go look through it. Neat pictures, and it's just kind of interesting. And Knife Informer gives us a review, written review, of the WE 702. Now, the only thing I disagree with them there is they shied away from hard use with that knife. Now, I understand if you are an owner of a 702, you really don't want to hard use that thing. You just gave like $300 for it, and you want to kind of keep it, because of the way it's made, you want to keep it as your dress knife, and I get that. But I took a 702 out, and I put it through the ringer. I carried that dude for like 6 months off and on, not every day, but definitely in hard use environments. Definitely it got used to whack and cut and do all those things that WE doesn't want me to do with the knife, and it performed admirably. I didn't have any problems with it. That pivot's very robust, and I could go on about that, but the rest of their article is pretty darn good. And BladeReviews.com gets us in stitches with the Microtech Stitch Review. And see, I still can't get all them words out right because this side's not quite working right. Anyhow, that is a cool knife. I wish they offered that guy in a blade hole opening system or a flipper tab, because I love the design of that thing. I'm just not too much into the side firing auto. And Knife News has a bit of a different type of article for them that you'll probably want to go read. It was kind of cool. It's called Rolling the Dice on a Knife in Vegas. And my buddies, my friends, I love you guys over at Knife News, but I wanted to link to more of your content over the past week or so, and I went to your site this morning and I could not find it. Now, I'm sure that you can tell me exactly what button I should have pushed or whatever to find that content, but I'm asking you and letting you know that, guys, you need to do a little bit of site redesign so that we can see, as your viewers, some of the older content, because it's hard to get to. So please, guys over at Knife News, do something about that for us. We will really, really appreciate it, because next up is SHOT Show coverage, and I would have loved to include your SHOT Show coverage, but I couldn't find it. So, alright guys, let's find out who won those whistles and those flashlights. And wrong button. There we go. Pick a winner. And pick a winner. EDC with Aaron. Aaron, you get one. Let's see. I need to write that down real quick, and then we'll move along to the next one. Alright, picking our next one. Aaron, you cannot win twice. It's not happening. unless you have two wives. If you have two wives, let me know. We'll hook you up. So we're going to hit it again. Blade centered. Ooh, you just if you thank God you put a comma in there, because you are getting the second one. That is blade centered. And one more. Michael McCormick. You are number 3. All right, guys. You guys need to get an email to me with your address and all that stuff in there. And Aaron, I probably got your address, but Blade Centered, I'll need yours. And Michael McCormick, I will need your address so that I can get stuff to get the whistles and flashlights to you. And you have 24 hours, or I'm going to have to, go through the comments and pick my favorite ones. Anyhow, guys, from here, it's on with the videos. SHOT Show coverage. Blade HQ and Luv Them Knives got around at SHOT Show, and they've got a lot of good content. And there were others out there, but those were the two that I watched and had some pretty good stuff. And Nick Shabazz has his knife gripe number 50. He says it's the finale, and I don't believe him. Because sometime later this week, he's going to be griping about a knife somewhere. He may not do a knife gripes episode, but he's going to be griping about something. And in this video, I'm pretty sure that he indirectly called me a jackass. Now, I don't know whether I should be upset about that, happy about it, or indifferent. I think I'm leaning more on the indifferent. But anyhow, he also gives us the full Nick Shabazz gripe about the little native. And that one wasn't really a gripe. He calls it a full review, but well, you know. And EDC Gear Reviews splashes in with the Benchmade Mini Crooked River. That is a cool little knife. I wish I could justify getting one here. I just can't. And Boost Blades Mini Aero is the other review from EDC Gear Reviews this week. That is a cool little knife. I wish it wasn't in that... Oh, it's just in that spot. That's not for me. Not at that price point, anyhow. And Slicy Dicey gets a hold of a Chris Reeve large Sebenza 21. It gives us his first impressions and his plans. And I did not listen to the part about his plans because I'm intrigued. And I didn't want to know what they were, so that I'd blab them all over the place here on the news. So you guys will have to go and watch... find out what his plans are, and I've got to go back and watch and find out what his plans are. And KnifeKrazy slips out of the straitjacket for the Massdrop Ferrum Forge Wee Knife GENT knife review. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got to find a shorter way to say that mess, because Massdrop Ferrum Forge Wee Knife, whatever the knife name is ridiculous. Got to come up with something better. If you guys have an idea, stick it down there in the comments, because wow. Anyhow, Stazza23 brings us some knife therapy with his first impressions of the Boost Blades Smoke. And Canadian Cutting Edge starts us up with the Wii Ignition. And Birdshot IV has some wonderful stuff in their IV this week with the Will Modus, the $40 new EDC standard. I absolutely disagree with you, Bird. Frankie, you too. But, you're entitled to your opinion, but I do not agree with it. And I'll have that video sometime in the next few weeks. But I do respect your opinion. And they also have the Olamic Cutlery Busker. Now, they kind of love it, and they think we will too, and I think they're right. The only thing I don't love about that thing is the price point, but it's still a super cool little knife. And they also say, start thinking about Blade Show 2018, and you should be. If there is any way you can find yourself in Atlanta on the weekend of June 1st, you should be at Blade Show, and you should be thinking about it right now. Why should you be thinking about it right now? Because if you don't have a hotel reserved sometime in the next few weeks, you will be staying on the other side of Atlanta or in some other county. Because, especially on Friday night and Saturday night, because there just isn't any hotel that has vacancy during the weekend of Blade Show that is close to Blade Show. I can't remember the name of the hotel that Blade Show is held in. It's already sold out. I checked with them this morning. The hotels surrounding the Cobb Center, they're down to more expensive rooms and the such like. Not all of them. There were a few from what I saw of lower dollar rooms available, but wow. Get your plans made now. Get your vacation requests in if you need to. And my little tips about Blade Show. If at all possible, get yourself to Blade Show one of two times. First off, if you're not trying to buy any of the stuff that'll be there, like the Microtech, the first 200 Microtechs that they'll sell, 100 or 200 of them that they'll sell at a discount, or whatever other brand or maker has 200 or 300 of something, don't worry about the early bird pass. Or maybe go ahead and get the early bird pass, but don't worry about being the first one through the door, because that's crazy. Get up to the center. Early bird's noon. Plan on actually walking in about a quarter after 12, 12:30. Or just go ahead and come in at 2 o'clock with everybody. Or with all the regular tickets. And you should be fine. And Friday isn't too crazy, except for that first few minutes while everybody's filtering into Blade Show. If you have to come on Saturday, it's a little crazier, and there's a lot of people there, but you can still get around and talk to people and stuff. But if you're there looking at the production companies and not so worried about the custom knife makers and the such, Sunday is probably the day, because Sunday people show up, but there's not as many. People are getting ready to go home, and it's just a lot calmer on Sunday. The big to-do is on Saturday whenever they have all the blade sports, all that kind of stuff, and then Sunday kind of calms down. So those are my tips on Blade Show. If you can, come on Friday. That's whenever you'll be able to see the majority of everything. If you can't come on Friday, Saturday's still good, but it's going to be busy. Sunday, a lot of stuff's going to be gone. A lot of small makers will have checked out, but all of your production companies will still be there. You'll still be able to put in orders with them. You might even get a few good deals here and there. Anyhow, guys, I really appreciate you hanging out with me and talking about the news and the other stuff for a few minutes. And I really appreciate all your thoughts and prayers. And if I didn't get back to your comment or your email and stuff, I apologize. It's been a pretty darn rough past couple of weeks or so for me. And sometimes, especially the comments on YouTube, some of those get lost and I can't find them again. And I apologize. But I really do appreciate every one of you. And I'm getting better, and hopefully soon I'll be back to 100%. And don't forget, not just here, but all the knife channels, to whack that subscription button, turn off the notifications if you need to, and watch while you're doing things to help these channels out, and this channel too. I keep saying these channels, but help the channels out so that they can bring you better content. And you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.